Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the North Node in Cancer. So, over the next year, from about November 6th of 2018, actually a little over a year, to May 4th of 2020, we are going to have the North Node in the sign of Cancer. So, the nodes refer to the moon's rotation around the Earth. So the North Node, if I'm not mistaken, I could be way oversimplifying this stuff, but if the North Node is where the moon passes the Earth's orbit in front, and the South Node is where it passes in back. So as the Earth is going around the sun, the moon crosses the Earth's path, and the North Node is where it's going in front. So it's, the idea is that's where we're going to, that's where we're headed. That's it's what we've been to the South Node. We're headed towards the North Node because that's where we're spinning in space or whatever. So for the last year, the North Node has been, a little over a year, whatever. It's been in Leo, and I wrote these blogs about what kind of king or queen do you want to be? Like, what is the kingdom that you want to rule? If you're up on the throne, if we're headed towards this Leo energy that we need to learn about, then what was your kingdom going to be like? So as the North Node shifts into Cancer, what I feel like is that it's going to be a very deeply emotional time, because Cancer is kind of where emotions come from. It's the first water sign, and it's the fourth, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. It's the first water sign. But it relates to the fourth house of the astrological zodiac, the fourth astrological house, which has to do with kind of the seat of the soul. It's your deepest emotions. It's kind of your origins, and like things that you bring with you on a deep subconscious level. It's like inside yourself. I think of the fourth house. It's like that. There's some, I believe it's Japanese expression of, there's three masks that we wear. There's one that we wear to society. There's one that we wear to our close friends and people. And then there's one mask that we don't wear in front of anybody. And that's just our own deep self. And that's what Cancer is. That's what the fourth house is. So it's the first water sign, which is the emotional element. So Cancer is the most in touch with their own emotions, right? So this next year, I think Cancer people are going to be not necessarily as affected by this emotional vibe because they're already living that thing. I think it's the rest of us that are going to be like, oh my God, these feelings, like, what is this? Like, the part of what the North Node is the unknown. We're going towards, what we have to learn here. So a big part of it is that we are going to have to get deeply in touch with our own emotions. We're going to have to, things are going to have to be personal to us. Because with the South Node is always in the opposite sign. So the South Node is going to be in Capricorn, which is much more public as opposed to Cancer, which is personal. And Capricorn has a lot to do with career and business, and there's a lot of formality there. There's a lot of rules and structure. And Cancer flows. Cancer is like the moon. Cancer is, this ruling planet is the moon, and it waxes and wanes. And so there's a lot of, I felt like this yesterday, and in a couple days I'm going to feel a different way. You know what I mean? Like, emotions flow. The tide, I relate Cancer to kind of, Cancer's the crab, right? It's in the tide. The tide goes in and out. And you know what I mean? Tide goes out, crab can go scurry. Tide comes in, crab, like there's all sorts of things. But Cancer is all about security, because it's that deep seat of the soul, and this kind of tide going in and out. So this next little while, this North Node in Cancer, it's going to have to be a very personal thing. You're going to have to trust your own gut. And I think that people, because the water signs are kind of more psychic and vibey than the other signs, in general, I think all of the signs and the elements have their kind of inspiration, but the water signs tend to be the most kind of, aware of what's going on in other people's heads. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to be getting, because Cancer gets a lot of hunches. They get a lot of these gut level feelings and reactions. And so this next little while, we're going to be getting these like hunches, and then, you got to go with your hunch. You got to go with what your own impulse is. You got to go with what your own impulse is telling you, because that's what we're here to learn. That's what this whole next little time is about trusting your gut, trusting your hunch, like doing it. um, so we're going to be going away from Saturn, which is kind of rules and time and constriction and all this stuff. We need to go towards a more softer feelings. And cancer is moon, which is the emotions, and it's mother, which is origins. It's all these kind of things. So we're going to be getting in touch with our kind of roots or something. There's something about, like, to me, this is like the Six of Cups in the tarot. It's like nostalgia. What are we drawing from in our past that is giving us this sense of like longing in the present? We're gonna have to be getting in touch with our deep emotions, but it's not other people's emotions. You know what I mean? Because Scorpio is like I'm talking to you. So Scorpio is I'm listening to your emotions, and then Pisces is like I'm listening to everybody's emotions all the time, and I can't stop. You know what I mean? So Cancer is really the most like, this is what I feel, and this is why I feel it, and I'm very aware of that. And it can be crazy mood swings. I mean, love you, Cancers. I'm sure you've never heard that before, but it's like the moon. You know what I mean? Like it waxes and wanes. So allow yourself to feel what you're going to feel over this next time. There's no wrong way to feel. It's just kind of like what you do with that. You know what I mean? So another thing that's very interesting to me is my first kind of thought as I was thinking about what I was going to write is that America itself is a Cancer. Like, this country is a Cancer. Born on the 4th of July, right? So I had that in mind as I went and looked at, I wrote down all these dates in my book of the last times over the last century that the North Node has been in Cancer. Just listen to these dates. April 8th of 2000 to October 12th of 2001. September 20th of 1981 to March 15th of 1983. December 22nd of 1962 to August 25th of 1964. May 11th of 1944 to December 2nd of 1945. October 26th of 1925 to March 16th of 1927. March 29th of 2007 to September 26th, 1907 to September 26th of 1908. So right when I read these, there was a couple of dates that popped right out to me, but I wanted to make sure. So I asked my dad, who is a history teacher, about what he thought. And he's like, well, I don't have a book in front of me or whatever. But the first thing that he noticed was that immediately following all of these days, there was a huge economic downturn, like a recession or the Great Depression, or you know what I mean, like, and whatnot. So I've been waiting to post on this video, but in the last day or two, there's already been these huge things about the stock market is going down and the Dow, and like I don't even know about any of that stuff, but like it's happening right now. Like North Node shifted into Cancer this time on November 6th of this year. And already we're starting to see kind of like effects of other times and things, people running their kingdoms in this country. Like, so we're already seeing this economic downturn. It's already predicted. We're already headed towards it. People are already talking about it. So North Node and Cancer, it's happening. It's crazy, right? So some of the other stuff that I noticed, 9/11 happened on the last one. The last time North Node was in Cancer was 9/11. Then in the 80s, there was a bunch of crazy stuff that happened. You know what I mean? Like, look it up. But the other biggies, Kennedy assassination in the 60s, the atom bomb dropping in World War II, and all that crazy, crazy stuff that America did in those times. here at home and abroad. You know what I mean? I'm talking about internment camps. I'm talking about all that stuff. Then in the 20s, immediately following that was the Great Depression, and then in the 2000s, I said it again, in the 1900s, you know, some crazy stuff I know was going on here, at least in Utah, when it came to women and mothers and all this kind of stuff. So, anyways, I hope that we're not on that same shit, because apparently some crazy shit is about to go down. So get ready. You better feel it deep, and we all better, as America, we got to get it together and figure out what our identity is going to be as we go into this North Dakota cancer. So that's my little rant. I'm trying to get it out, and hopefully this video loads and doesn't give me any shit. Happy 2018, y'all. Blammo.